All right, so the way that I view exercise is that it's pretty much, or you can think of it as a spectrum where you have polar, three polar extremes. So up here, you can call it athletic performance. Over here, you have, these are what your cares are. So you have your body appearance, and over here, you have strength. So athletic performance. These are the athletes. All they really care about is how well they can do their job, their sport, as well as they possibly can. And they will incorporate weight training in order to help supplement the muscles that can help them do their sport better. So baseball players, they really need, like when they're at bat, when they hit a ball, the energy just comes from their legs as they rotate their hips. So incorporating heavy squats, incorporating hip abductors, adductors, working on your serratus muscles of your abs, all these things can help them achieve their goal better. But their main focus on weightlifting is only for that sake. They mainly just want to get better at their sport. For strength, you have the huge power lifters and the world strongman competitions and things like that. They lift very heavy weights. Power lifters only care about deadlifts, squats, and bench press, and they don't really care how they look. They, they're okay with having a thick layer of fat on top of their muscles. That's, as long as they can outperform the other dude, that's all that matters. Over here, for body appearance, you have bodybuilders. So they also lift very heavy weights, but that's not their main care. They only care to use heavy weights for the sake of how well it can help sculpt their body to look the way they want it to look. And you may think like, oh, well, if they see a power lifter, huge dude from World Strongman competitions, and they see a very gigantic dude who looks like he's on steroids, and he probably is if he's a pro bodybuilder. But if you see these two different guys, one may think like, oh, well, they both just lift very heavy in the gym, and it's just their genetics or whatever else that changes their body composition, and that turns one person into a power lifter, and it's just incidental that the other person can become a bodybuilder. But that's not the case. Sure, genetics do play a role, but it really is the way that somebody trains. It's the frequency that they work out and the types of exercises that they do that can completely change somebody from being a power lifter to a bodybuilder. If you were to take a power lifter, they go to the gym maybe 3 or 4 times a week, and they really care about those exercises that I already mentioned, and their style is just different. They need long rest periods in between each time, and they care less about the smaller muscle groups, working on kind of like the secondary muscles, because they don't need to articulate those. They don't need, a pronounced, lateral tricep head. But if you were to change their style and to change their diet and to make their workout focus more on the secondary complementary muscles, and to have shorter rest periods between their sets, then you could completely shape their body and look way more like a bodybuilder. They may not, due to genetics and whatever else, they may not. You can't just take any power lifter and make them a world-class bodybuilder, but you can definitely change their body composition a lot. And although these are the 3 polar extremes, you don't need to pick one of these and choose to make that your goal. I'm just saying this is what's out there, and you should shape what you're doing to pursue any of these goals. And if you're not attracted to one of these 3, that's perfectly fine. If you just go into the gym and you do free weights or you do the machines, you will likely be somewhere right here. You're working on your strength, and assuming that your nutrition is okay, your body's going to look much better than what it's used to. For years, that's all I did. I slowly gained knowledge, and I just tried to improve the amount of weight that I could lift. It's a fun number game to mentally and physically push yourself and to see that you're increasing. And doing so, you get a little bit of both. And CrossFit is a style of working out that's become very popular in recent years, and it gets a lot of negative press, and kind of rightfully so, because a lot of the coaches and a lot of the stuff you see online is very dangerous, and it's not effective at times for body appearance and sometimes for strength, and it's very risk prone. You see a lot of ballistic movements, a lot of snatching, and just bad practices. But it doesn't mean it's all bad. With a good coach, you could definitely, I would say, CrossFit done properly is a very good mix of all three. You are concerned with how heavy you can do weights, trying to improve your deadlift and your clean and jerk or whatever they do. Not sure if it's clean and press or clean and jerk, but whatever. And in doing so, and it's part of the culture kind of to be concerned with what you eat, yeah, you'll have a better body appearance than what you normally have. And because it's more aerobic exercises than traditional just bodybuilding or traditional powerlifting. So because by aerobic, I mean, like doing jumping jacks and doing, throwing the medicine balls against the wall, and what else do they do that's aerobic? I don't know. It's escaping to me now. But it's more aerobic style. So yeah, you'll get like jumping on boxes and stuff like that. So CrossFit can be a good mix of all three of these things. And my point of both of these is just to say, no matter what you do, you'll be improving one of these things. And regardless of what you choose to do, understanding the muscle groups of the body is a very useful thing. And you can choose to work on certain muscle groups or not. But it's often advantageous to even incorporate them regardless if you're towards one polar extreme or not. A power lifter, although he only cares about those three aforementioned exercises, ensuring that his secondary muscles are strong enough. So like secondary muscles are often things that bodybuilders care about, I said. So even incorporating some of these other things can be useful for a power lifter, either to ensure that they don't, that their weakest link isn't something that they can simply improve upon, and also just to make sure they don't have risk injuries. So anyway, I'll go over the main muscle groups now, and then also great exercises to effectively work each of them.